Hi everyone! Hey, our job today is to learn about algebraic expressions, and specifically we're going to be taking word phrases and translating them into the math expressions. So first of all, let's remember that a numerical expression is simply a math problem that doesn't have an equal sign. So again, today we're going to do with algebraic expressions then. So these are expressions that contain a variable, usually some constants, an operation symbol, and it does not have an equal sign. So I want to show you some examples of expressions here and point out a few important things when it comes to algebraic expressions here. So 2 plus 3 is an expression, no equal sign. This expression here means 7 times y. Anytime you see a number and a variable next to each other without an operation symbol in between them, it means multiply. So get used to seeing these numbers and letters next to each other, indicating that it's a multiplication problem. So this is 7 times y minus 5. This one is 3 times z, and then this fraction bar means the same thing as division. So this is 3 times z divided by 15. And then you can see over here, each one of these is an equation, not an expression, because it has an equal sign. All right, we want to get comfortable with some of the parts of these expressions. So a variable is any letter that stands in for a number that we don't know, an unknown value. The coefficient is the number that's in front of the variable that's being multiplied to the variable. And then a constant is a number that's in our problem that doesn't change, so it's not a variable, so it's a constant. Just a quick reminder here as we're working, if I am going too fast for you, remember that this is a video so you can stop it at any time. All right, so our next job is we want to get familiar with some words that mean the different operations. So as we're looking at addition, sum, plus, total, increased by, added to, and more than all mean addition. And we can take these phrases, the sum of a number and 5, and we can just break them apart. The sum we know means plus. A number, that's a variable, and since it doesn't tell us specifically what variable to use, we get to name the variable, so I named it z, and 5. And so we're looking here then, our algebraic expression would be z plus 5. All right, we can do the same thing here. A number, we get to decide, I decided q, plus, we know that's add, 3, so that's very straightforward, q plus 3. The total, that means we're going to be finding the addition, that's adding, of 6 and y. So 6 plus y. A number increased by 2. Start with whatever number we get to pick the variable, plus 2. Now the last two are a little bit tricky because the order reverses. Not super important with addition, but really important when we get to subtraction. So we have 11 added to a number. So that means we're starting with something besides 11 and we're adding 11 to it. So I started with r and added 11. And then whenever you see more than, whenever you see this kind of a phrase, or less than for subtraction, you know that's a cue to you. When you see that than, we're going to be reversing the order. So instead of putting 10 minus a number, or 10 plus a number, this one is going to be a number, I chose n, plus 10. So these two reverse the order that the numbers and variables are given to you in the phrase. Okay, let's look at some words that will mean subtraction. Difference, minus, less, decreased by, subtracted from, less than. And these two that I've highlighted are the ones where when we have a phrase with these words in them, we know we're going to have to reverse the order of the numbers in the phrase. So the difference of a number and 3, a number, I named it n, minus 3. A number minus 15, I named it m, minus 15. 9 less a number, 9 less is minus. A number, I named it b. 17 decreased by q. 17, decrease means subtract, by q. Here we go. We're going to reverse this order now. 45 subtracted from r. Okay, so that means we have to start with r, and then we have to subtract 45. So this is a reverse situation. A number less than 8. That means we start with 8 and subtract the number from 8. So again, a reverse situation. So you got to be careful with those reverse situations. All right, let's look at multiplication words. So we've got words like product, which is the answer to a multiplication problem, times, twice or double, multiplied by, and per. All right, so the product of 54 and a number, 54q. Remember, we don't need a multiplication symbol when we have a variable and a number together. We know that that means multiply. 18 times t, 18t. Double or twice a number means that we're going to multiply it by 2. I named the number p. You could have named it any variable, so 2p. Y multiplied by x, you can have just two variables in your expression, and so that's xy. And then $15 per hour. Anytime you see that word per, it's going to mean multiply, so that's 15 times h per hour. All right, divided by words, quotient divided by equal groups. So the quotient of 8 in a number, with this we just know that 8 comes first because that's the order that it's written in. So 8 divided by n, remember with the fraction bar that's a division problem, or 8 divided by n, r divided by 15, or r divided by 15, 25 divided into q equal groups, 25 divided by q, or 25 divided by q. Alright guys, you're going to go ahead and take your first SWIC in this lesson just to make sure that you kind of get this and know what we're doing before we move on to applying this to some problem solving situations.